Let's talk about the movies that you probably haven't seen yet and you missed on a great one. We will be talking about a movie called The Big World, or as literally translated, Little Me. It came out in 2024, a Chinese film, and it depicts a story about a boy who has a cerebral palsy. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It is labeled as coming of age drama and was directed by Yang Lina, as I believe she has to be a woman, but I'm not an expert with Chinese names. And this part that I'm not an expert in Chinese names will be experienced throughout this whole video, so yeah, buckle up. Hello there, it's the Kitty Box, and I'm here to analyze the movie for you. Let's do this. Disclaimer. I'm still a human being, so I can make mistakes, and not everything that I say can be relatable for everyone around the world. So keep that in mind, have fun, and I hope that I can present the movie in the best way possible. So the main character of the movie, He, as we already stated before, has cerebral palsy. This is why he is moving not in a normal way and has speech impediment, and overly it creates this kind of a distance with public around. As we know, with no offense meant, in Asian countries like China, Japan, they have strict hierarchies, and also they have strict public interactions, and this is why it adds to the whole picture that if you are different, then you are considered bad or dysfunctional, as you may. So this character, because of that, is shunned by the society, of course, and he's fighting to get his place in the world. And the whole movie is about that. About his experiences, about what he sees, and what he is as a person, away from that he has cerebral palsy. But the movie is not depressing, it's inspiring, because we see that the character himself is a very strong person. As I mentioned before, I'm bad with the names, so I have them on paper. So, Chen Sugun is his grandma, Chen Lu is his mother, and both of them are living with him in a way that what I meant is that they are living together. So he's living with his mother and grandmother in one apartment, but his mother is all the time somewhere else, and she also has a husband or something, and it's probably the stepdad of the boy. But I will be going on and around about the stepfather figure. As I understood, his real father is never there, and also with this new father figures, there is no interactions whatsoever. All interactions are happening between Lu Chunhe, his grandmother, and his mother. So his grandmother is something that keeps him afloat, as we would say, because she is inspiring him to continue living, to feel himself as someone loved, while his mother, because of her own grudges and stuff that we will be uncovering at the end of the film, made herself be presumed as the worst mother possible, because she visibly shows that he hates him, and she doesn't want to do anything with him. So all of that, together with physical disability and other parts of what comes with cerebral palsy, of course creates for him a lot of insecurities. For example, he is very shy when to speak with other people, and usually he doesn't speak at all with them, not that much, because he stutters when he talks, or he can be a little bit slow sometimes. Even when he's to interact with another person, he's more listening than answering. And you can see the change of demeanor when he's with the grandma and when he's with a stranger. So first in the movie we are thinking that he's doing pretty good, like he went to school, he's having good marks, he finished the school with good grades, but over the movie we understand that it's not that good, and actually he was lying to his mother together with grandma, By the way, the best duo ever. I don't know, their wife is something else. They're just a good company, and I'm happy that he has a grandma like that, with mother like this. But he still carries on because he has a dream, as his grandma also has a dream that he will be living a full life, and he wants to also find a way to become a great person. He tries to be a teacher in one class for kids. Of course, they laugh at him, and it was very painful to see. But still, he shows that he can recite a wonderful poem and analyze it and create a wonderful lecture about it. However, people still didn't recognize that, and this is why nothing came out of this. Later on, during the summertime, he's meeting also the character named Yaya, a young girl who is presumably is kind towards him in a way that she's acting affectionate, and she's not being biased by the way he's moving or whatever, and tries to show him that she sees a person in him. And of course, it gives a lot of hope to Lu Chun-he. And this is why he got inspired to find a job, where first his job would be in a cafeteria. And even though the owner was biased at the beginning and didn't want to take him because of how he acts and the way he is as a person, Lu Chun-he, because of his disability. But Lu Chun-he, he insisted that he wants the job. He showed him that he can walk, he can endure the time that is required to work, like for example to be on feet, that he can speak, that he can recite whatever is on the menu. And when he was met with the final statement of the owner that he wants to take for a job a normal person, Lu Chun-he answered to him that he is a normal person. And of course, he got the job. Many things happened, and to not spoil it too much, I will be just overall talking about the film and the whole dynamics that is happening there. So, of course, grandma was very happy. Mother wasn't that much happy because probably she felt that he's becoming independent and starting to live and starting to be a part of society. There are some arguments happening between them, between mother and the son. And of course, also she mentions how she has grudges towards grandma. And we understand the whole family dynamic is just wrong. But still, Lu Chun-he knows that there is a person that likes him, who is Yaya, and this is why he's going to restaurant cafeteria to work, and he wants to earn money. As he said to his granny, he just wants the decency of a person that has a job and has money. Not in a way that he wants money for money, but because he wants to be someone who can sustain himself. But not much, of course, changed because of that, because it just made him a little bit happier and his grandma. But still, he wanted to become something even more in life than just a cafeteria worker. He wanted to apply for university, which was a thought that his mother despised because she said it will never happen and no one would like a teacher like you who cannot talk. Wow. But still, his grandmother believed in him, he believed in himself, and he did anything he can. He exercised, he practiced his fingers and all of that to be more coordinated and well moving. Then the next strike from the fate happened. When Yaya, she was before like okay, hanging out with him, texting him, calling him, having fun together, even coming to his place and letting him touch the second base. But like then one time in public when he tried to hold her hand, she just snatched it away and broke his heart because she said that she needs to go to the restroom and she never came back. I think everyone will find their own understanding of why she did that. I will just put my small insert that probably she was like trying to understand him from the beginning as she did. Then she was like, okay, I can see past the stuff that I see on the surface, but like I like the person inside, And then she was like, yeah, okay, it's working. And then suddenly she understood that all public will see that, and that it's not only the matter of them being together, but being together in people's eyes. And it means if they're laughing at him, they will be laughing at her. So probably some insecurities of her own and fears came into place, and she just ran away. Not the best move, not the best move, but yeah, she did that. There also can be one more reason that my boyfriend mentions, that maybe because her mother was paying her to be a good girl for this summer for some months, like a good daughter. Maybe he was just a good boy to hang out with because there were no risks so whatsoever that something will happen between them, even though he showed her that actually I'm a man. Yeah, I can have feelings. I can have something. It's just about eating and sleeping and drinking water, as he said about the mother's view of him, that the main part of their relationship dynamic was also that he knew that his mother was thinking that all he needs in life is just eating, sleeping, so yeah, whatever. He's just a being that she needs to sustain and be ashamed of. This is why he is not allowed to leave the house a lot. He's not allowed to dream of big or have a good profession or go to university. So yeah. Of course, it almost demolishes him and pushes him to a bad decision, what we already encountered in the beginning of movie, then once more there and here and there, because all the time he was also suffering with the problems of mental health, and that he wanted to unalive himself not once. Happily, of course, he didn't leave this world because his grandma was around, and even though the whole scene was very difficult, he survived. He found a new reason to continue fighting. His grandma said that he received some kind of envelope because beforehand he was sending out an application for university to become a teacher. Yes, his dream. And suddenly there was a good response and he passed to become a part of university. And yes, the movie ends with him being happy with that he needs to go now to university, and he said to his grandmother that you should live your life and allow me to survive on my own. It is a very beautiful movie. Also, there is a part in the end of the movie of his very wonderful speech on how he wanted to express how he feels himself. There was a whole reason why he was in that place. It was some organization's public speech event because of his complaint towards a bad bus driver who was being rude to Luchenhe's grandma, and who was also saying inappropriate words and sentences about Luchenhe, such as a person like you is not deserving to be in the same bus as other people. Like, you cannot be using the bus because you are too sick for it. Because just Luchenhe fell down because he gave up a seat for a woman with a kid. And when he was holding onto the, I forgot how it's called, but he was holding on to the safety safety stuff in the bus, so he fell down, unfortunately, and because of that, of course, the bus driver got angry and said that you don't need to be on this bus if you cannot stand. But yes, the whole meeting was pointless, and this is why just the main characters. He gave a little speech about that it's so funny that his whole complaint was meaningless because they only gave them some gifts to make them silenced and never thought of changing the whole situation. And then he went on about talking about his experience as a person with cerebral palsy. Thus, let me conclude. The movie is very real. It doesn't have any sugarcoating of the truth or skipping and cuts of unpleasant scenes that could be happening in a life of a person with cerebral palsy. It's not a gross movie, not a kind of this, like, I don't know, black comedy or some art house. No, it's just a movie, but very real. and it shows the experiences of Lучший and the moments when he dreams of becoming normal as other people. It's happening all around the movie, and sometimes you can a little bit mix up whatever is happening in a way that is made to be like that, because you are never understanding from the first second of the dream that it's a dream, and then you are again struck with the harsh reality that it's still a dream, just a dream. And it's good. It's not made in a bad way that's just, problems in storytelling or something. No, it's okay. The main part is, even though there were so many times that he could give up, and he gave up, still, again and again, he stood up to all the fears that he has, and Lучший continued to fight. Be it the whole situation, his life as it is, that is not perfect, be it the girl who broke his heart, or be it a mother who ruined all his experience and understanding of society and life, he still progressed, and he still tried to hold on the feelings that grandma is giving him, the love and affection that he was providing to him. What can I think of as a similar movie, maybe? I'm thinking probably Ideal Life, or Ideal Days, I think it's called. Also a very interesting movie, also with simple matters to be seen, not some action, fantasy stuff but just the experience that anyone outside can be having right now. Yes, I'm getting the same vibe from this movie, The Big World. Also, a great part about the movie, it has a lot of symbolism in it, like it's about showing, not telling. And I like movies like that. I like when they're doing this instead of now very trending stuff that movies are just telling you the story instead of showing it. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit husky. And there are a lot of moments that you can notice if you are attentive enough. For example, when he's getting the envelope, it's red, and in China, I know that the red is the color of luck and fortune and all of that. So probably they're using the red envelopes when they're giving a good answer. And my boyfriend was the one who got up onto this when we were watching. It's very nice. Also the cycads. Let me check that. Also cicadas. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but okay. Those buggies that do this sound a lot in Japan and China probably. There is a great symbolism about them, because the main character himself mentioned that why people cannot be like cicadas that can, each time they're shedding their skin, become a new one, like a new bug. So he also had this kind of a dream when he's just shedding the skin and not becoming normal. Here is where I can mention that because the actor himself doesn't have cerebral palsy, he was able to portray both the main character with cerebral palsy and in dreams without, and it was just wonderful. It was such a shock when you can be seeing him both in the normal way with cerebral palsy and in some imaginary way in his dreams where he hasn't have it. Wow. I just want to say that all of the commentaries wherever I see the movie on some YouTube pages or somewhere, I saw that all people are underlaying the same thing. The main character's actor is just wonderful. All of the actors are good, yes, but the main characters is something like magnificent, because all the work that was put in to portray very naturally the cerebral palsy, and to all the time be keeping all these mannerisms and stuff that comes with it, it's just something that, I don't know, it requires a lot of good actors' work, and he nailed that. Let me check what was the actor. I believe Jackson Lee. Yes, it was Jackson Lee. Wonderful actor, I would say. I never seen him before, probably, or I never recognized him as well, but from this movie I will always remember him. Also, other actors, Diana Lin, Yang Qin, sorry, and Zhu Yulong and Li Jinzhuo. Yeah, all of them are wonderful. The main cast, all others also The background characters, wonderful. I just want to express my gratitude to all of them for making this great movie. And of course to the producer, right? I will also end with reading something from Wikipedia that the film premiered at the 37th Tokyo International Film Festival and was released theatrically on 27 December 2024. So after that it came into life and people started to watch it. And after the film was launched, the production team put out a short documentary that featured individuals with cerebral palsy working in diverse roles such as chefs, delivery drivers, dancers, poets, and full-time dads. The documentary particularly resonated with those in the disability community, receiving commendations for bringing attention to a seldom discussed facet of Chinese society. So yes, as I already said, it's a big thing for China and also for other world for sure. Like we can be acting like we accept people more, but even in Europe, even in other place, it's still there. There is some distinction between when person is fully able and is presumed as fully healthy, then it's okay, and as soon as something is wrong, could be a little part, even with a person with just crutches or something, it already becomes something else, like someone who is not a part of all society, and this person is meant to be a little bit shunned for many of people. I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but this still is in our society, and it would be fun that if people would watch this film, understand the character more, understand the struggle, and see these people in a way that they never seen before. And I think for people that have cerebral palsy, they will also see it as a good representation of their community. I hope. And yes, even though the character maybe didn't get the butterflies and rainbows ending that he was expecting, he still got a good resolution in the film, very real one. Nothing that is just a happy ending or something like that, more like a true ending, and it's still a very calming one and a good one. So with this all being said, I just want to recommend you this movie. Please watch it. It's the best one out of recent ones, I believe. You will not lose the time, and you can always just close the movie if you don't like it. Or pause it and watch it later, right? I hope that I managed to interact you for this short video, and I like to do this stuff from time to time about movies because it's also a passion of mine. I'm happy to share my opinions, and I will be also very happy if you could follow me, comment this video or like it, yes, or do all of this all together. Wow, you can do this? Oh, you also can always follow me on Twitch, where I'm playing games and sometimes we're having music, art, or Gartic fun together. So yeah, you have a lot of options. Don't miss on them. And from my side, I just wish to you the best of the day. And if you're having a birthday, happy birthday to you. And bye bye. Meow meow. And please don't mind me that I'm so swollen. I just was so rushing to do this movie that I don't know. Today is just not the best day maybe for me, but yeah. Normally I don't look so puffed up like this, like a puffy fish. Yeah. I hope you can see past that. It came out in 2024. It came out in 2024, and it depicts the story of a boy with cerebral paralysis. It is labeled as coming. And yeah, here is why I care. I hope